repeated reports about Russia attacking or advancing towards, in preparation to attack, the Georgian capital, Tbilisi, and other areas which the media was reporting that they were attacking. The next day, that news completely disappeared because it was completely made up. And the Russians were trying to point this out, and, you know, nobody mentions it the next day when it disappears from the headline.
What we are is a delusional country. And what extent is it in England? I mean, I know your media is almost worse than the U.S. media, I have to say, on this subject. You know, later they'll claim they weren't part of it. It's a little bit slicker in England, but at the time they're just as or worse at twisting and lying. Are the British people buying it?
Not as much as the Americans, that's for sure. I mean, there were headlines in the newspaper the day after it happened saying, you know, the pipeline war, and people began to learn that it was about this BTC pipeline that passes just underneath Russia. But what's good about Britain is that Russia Today, which has carried all the most precise news about this entire conflict, is on the satellite broadcasting system along with Sky News, BBC, and all the others. And, I mean, we've been accused of parroting Russian propaganda, but the fact is that Russia Today have had on, for interviews, Paul Craig Roberts, you know, people from LouRockwell.com, AntiWar.com, people like that, who are on your show regularly. So it's not as
well, I have to say, I mean, Russia Today is incredibly accurate. I mean, it's thought-provoking. I mean, I wish we had TV like that here. I'm watching it, and I've got research from other sides. I'm not even just believing it, and it's accurate. I mean, it blows me away.
Yeah, to say that the Russian media is more independent than the British or the American just highlights how much trouble we're in.
Because, I mean, they'll even show both sides, but there isn't really any both sides about it. I tell you, I'm worried, Paul. It's getting crazier and crazier.
Exactly. Whereas, you know, everybody in America, or if you take Yahoo.com as the news agenda in America, they're concerned about a plastic monkey suit that people claim is Bigfoot, and that's been top of the news all this week. I mean, what is going on in people's minds? And you've
got two scam artist corrections officers running around with this monkey suit that I identified in 5 minutes. Exactly. They want to know about a monkey suit. I'm sorry, the Russian media, the people there, they don't want to know about monkey suits, folks. The Japanese, well, in my own private life, I deal with people making up stuff about me that's just whole cloth made up, and our own movement buys it. And it's like, answer for this, answer for that. I'm like, it's not even true. It's just so incredible. I mean, we really, I keep repeating it, but it is a wanton delusion. People are delusional, Paul.
Well, exactly. It gives them refuge, doesn't it, from facing real issues. I mean, it's been that way for a while. But the level of wanton mindlessness, which is evident when you read the news every day, and what is top of the news is just baffling. When a fake monkey suit can be top of the news while we may be on the verge of World War III, or at the very least, you know, a future nuclear conflict, and people are obsessing about a plastic monkey suit for an entire week, we're in a lot of trouble.
Well, over that weekend, 888-889-8810, the top story was celebrity hairdos and a car wreck by some Hollywood star. I just don't. I mean, folks, this is life and death. This isn't a game. This isn't a game having a criminal media that tells you Russia attacked Georgia. It isn't a game having a criminal media. The government staged terror attacks, folks. It's now come out mainstream news that Dick Cheney wanted to stage more and blow up our ships. They're not playing games. We're all in danger here. I'm sorry, monkey suits aren't important.
And as Ron Paul was talking about earlier, both McCain and Obama are fully behind the U.S. NATO client state, Georgia. Today, people are tipping, I don't know if it's been announced yet, it was set to be announced today or tomorrow.
Hillary. Biden?
Is this guy from Indiana, this senator, Evan Bayh, who is the most virulent neocon you could ever imagine. He was actually on the Committee for the Liberation of Iraq with John McCain in 2003, which propagandized for the invasion of Iraq.
Oh, so you're talking about who McCain's about to tip?
No, I'm talking about Barack Obama's potential.
I didn't know that. I knew he's looking at. Oh my God!
This is U.S. News and World Report said yesterday. Quote: Top Democratic Party officials are expecting Barack Obama to select Indiana Senator Evan Bayh as his running mate as early as midweek. I don't know if it's going to be him, but it says that he's the favorite. And he voted for the reauthorization of the Patriot Act in 2006. He's repeatedly said that Iran has got a nuclear weapons program, despite the fact that the National Intelligence Estimate and the CIA said that's not true. He's a keen supporter of AIPAC, the pro-Israel lobby group, and he's potentially going to be Obama's running mate.
Stay there. Let's talk more about it with Paul Watson. PrisonPlanet.com. This is dangerous times, ladies and gentlemen. A bunch of hardcore criminals doing whatever they want, and a public just completely lobotomized. I've got some audio I'm going to play later in the next hour of Condoleezza Rice on CBS News demonizing Russia and lying, and I've been reading during the break. Every comment, these are people in the U.S. are saying you're complete liars, Russia attacked no one, Georgia attacked them, and saying you're a pack of liars. I mean, I think the New World Order, I mean, is really, really starting to destroy all their credibility. But going back to Paul Watson, Paul, you were bringing up the neocon that Barack Obama, I've got the U.S. News and World Report here, it certainly does say that he's probably going to pick a neocon warmonger as his VP. I mean, that's just par for the course. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there's a quote which is from whitehouse.gov, which says on October 2nd, 2002, Bayh joined President George W. Bush and congressional leaders in a Rose Garden ceremony announcing their agreement on the joint resolution authorizing the Iraq war, and was thanked by Bush and Senator John McCain, Obama's supposed adversary, for co-sponsoring the resolution. And he's also brought into force these resolutions against Iran, sorry. But most of these Democrats who voted for the Iraq war, later recant, or supposedly recant, but Senator Bayh didn't even recant. In February 2006, he refused to renounce his support for the war in Iraq in an interview with the Washington Post, and he also voted for the reauthorization of the USA Patriot Act in 2006, having also declared his, quote, lifelong affection for the state of Israel AIPAC luncheon in the same year. So he's a complete neocon. He sat on the commission with McCain to propagandize for the invasion of Iraq in 2003. And he's also a Bilderberg member who gave a keynote speech at the 1999 Bilderberg meeting in Portugal. And this is the person that they're tipping to become Obama's potential future VP. So this empty platitude of change is once again, revealed for the reality of what it is, which is the status quo.
Well, look at the Obama campaign going after Jerome Corsi for 9/11 Truth. So see, now the Democrats, you better not talk about 9/11 Truth. I mean, there's just no difference.
Well, I read the news today that McCain's 5 points ahead, and I couldn't care less, to be honest, because Obama would be more dangerous. We had a fresh-faced, young contender here in 1997 who promised change, and his name was Tony Blair. Look what happened after that. And the same kind of mindless idolatry of Blair is what I'm seeing now with Obama in 2008. So if he's the man, then you can only expect things to get worse, because they'll bring in the left fist of the socialist encroachment on your private lives, just as they have in Britain.
And the Democrats are piling on to strengthen all the police state. And I want to see what liberals are going to do. Are you just going to now hail it and go, yes, it's good, but it was bad when Bush was doing it? Oh, man. I'm tired of being called a right-winger, then a left-winger. Now I'm going to be a right-winger again if Obama gets elected. I just can't imagine McCain. I mean, the vast majority, I've seen the statistics, it's 90+% of those that get that type of cancer that McCain had, they end up dying within 10 years. And he had it 9 years ago. And his cheeks are always swollen up, his neck's always swollen, looks like he's about to die. Oh, God.